how's everybody doing? I hope y'all are doing good. My name is Dina and I'm going to be doing a video today about how to get a student visa to travel to Spain. I just recently completed my visa. And it was a really long, drawn out, confusing process. So especially for me, because I'm a super procrastinator. So if you're a procrastinator like me, hopefully this video will help you organize and get your schedule together. I'm going to be reading off my lovely little list that I have here. And side note, if you see me reading like super hella close like this, it's not because I'm trying to like smack myself with the book. I'm just really hella blind. But anyway, so the first thing that I have on my list is to make an appointment. The reason why I put that first is because appointments at the consulate, whichever consulate you're going to go to, are going to fill up like crazy. This might depend on the consulate that you go to, and you have to go to a consulate that's within the jurisdiction of your area code or the neighborhood that you live in. So make sure that you're going to a consulate that actually does serve your community. And once you find out what consulate that you're going to be going to, you need to make an appointment ASAP. Like, as a matter of fact, if you know where you're going to go already, pause this video, click out of it, open a new tab, whatever, and go onto the consulate's website and make an appointment, and then come back and then figure out how to do everything else. I would recommend going online to your consulate and finding one of these lovely checklists, and it has a list of all the documentation that you're going to need to bring for your appointment. And I would say everything on that checklist probably takes about 2 to 3 months to get together if you plan everything right. So depending on when you leave, you want to make an appointment that gives you enough time to get everything together, but that's not too late so that you don't have enough time to get your visa processed and sent back to you. The next thing that you're going to want to do is get a background check and have it apostilled. I recommend doing this next because it is a 2-part process, and each of these things requires a little bit of wait time. And I would say that each of those things has about a 2-week wait period. So you're going to want to give yourself somewhere around a month to get these things done. And there's 2 options to go about getting your background check. You can either go through your state DOJ, Department of Justice, or get a federal FBI background check. I did the Department of Justice background check because the wait time was a little bit less as far as getting the results back. For the DOJ background check, all that you have to do is go to your local police station, your campus police station, or any LiveScan location. Typically, they're at like post office or notaries or things like that. So they're really easy to find. But you have to go online and print the Request a LiveScan form. After you submit your fingerprints electronically through LiveScan, I think it takes about 2 weeks for you to get the results back. So that's really not a long time at all. But when it comes to the FBI background check, and keep in mind that I didn't do this process, I believe what you have to do is go to a police station, either your local police station or a campus police station, somewhere that you can prove that you lived in that community for, I believe, at least 3 months. And then what you're going to want to do is get your fingerprints rolled there onto a specific card that they'll provide for you. Include the payment for the background check and the form that explains the reason why you have to have the background check done. So you're going to take those things and put them in an envelope and then mail it to, I don't know, somewhere in Washington, D.C. And they'll process your background check and then send you the results. Regardless of where you get your background check done, you're going to have to get it apostilled. And to be honest, I still don't know what an apostille is. It's like some kind of international notarization or something like that. But you have to get your background check apostilled, and there's 2 ways that you can have that done. The first way that I'm going to talk about how to get an apostille is through the mail. And again, I didn't go this route, so if I make any mistakes, sorry. I would definitely double check everything that I'm saying with your consulate and with the people in your program. I'm just saying double check because yeah, I didn't personally do it, and I would hate to tell you guys the wrong thing. But anyway, to get an apostille done through the mail, what you have to do is take the federal background check and get it notarized. That's the first thing you want to do. Then you want to find out how much the cost for the apostille is. It's around $8 to $10. So you're going to write a check and send that payment along with the notarized background check. You also have to include another form that explains the reason why you need the background check. And these forms are going to differ from state to state, so I would leave them in the description, but unfortunately, I don't know where you live, so I cannot. You're going to send all of those things to, I don't know the address off the top of my head, but you're going to send all of those things to wherever they need to be sent to have it apostille. You're going to want to send another envelope for them to send your apostille notarized background check back to you. Based on the people that I've spoken to that have gone this route, the process should take a total of about 12 to 14 days. The thing about sending your apostille through the mail, I did try to do this, but they ended up sending all of my stuff back to me because I did the whole thing wrong. So I didn't have my background check notarized, I didn't have my background check notarized, and apparently I sent the wrong return envelope. I guess they're super picky and they only accept USPS envelopes. I tried to send a FedEx envelope. I'm not sure if they might accept another kind of envelope, but definitely not FedEx. So make sure that you double check what kind of envelope that they want you to use, because you don't want to end up like me and waste 14 days of your process. As far as the second way that you can go about getting your apostille, I figure that most people probably can't do this, but I live in Los Angeles County, so I was able to go to a branch office of the California State Secretary office and get my apostille done there, which took about 15 minutes once I had it notarized, which was just pretty much waiting in line. If you do live somewhere near a state secretary's office, I would recommend getting the apostille done in person, just because it's like a one-day thing as opposed to a 2-week. The next thing that you're going to want to do, probably when you're waiting to get your apostille back in the mail or your background check back in the mail, if you do go the mail-in routes, the next thing I would do is to make a doctor's appointment to get a form signed off that says that you are mentally and physically healthy and it's safe for you and safe for others around you to travel. The doctor's note is really simple. It's not one of the most time-consuming things, but for me it was. But yeah, I don't know how you guys are with your doctors and when you're going to be able to see them. But for me, I tried to make an appointment with my regular doctor and she was completely booked until like September. So I had to see somebody new that I'd never seen before, but it was okay because the doctor's note is really just like any regular whatever doctor's note. You just have to take a copy of a translation and the original English. So it has to be in English and Spanish. You could probably find some kind of template like that online just by Googling, or for me, I was able to find a copy of the exact translation at my consulate website. You're going to have your doctor stamp it, sign it, and date it. The thing about getting the doctor's note that might make it a little time constrained is that it has to be valid within 3 months of having your appointment. And the same goes with the background check. I didn't say that before, but it has to be valid for 3 months once you have your background. The next thing you're going to want to get started once you have all that other stuff out of the way is going to be getting an insurance policy. So you're going to need to have some kind of international or traveler's insurance that's going to be valid to operate in Spain. Now this could either come from your program or you'll have to get some kind of insurance policy on your own. If you have to get an insurance policy on your own, just make sure that it does cover the right things and it meets the qualifications that they want at the consulate for you to be able to have insurance in Spain. If you are waiting to get this from your program, that you just communicate with whoever the admins are of the program that you're studying with and make sure that you get that on time for your visa appointment. And the next thing that you're going to want to get is going to be your acceptance letter. And just like if you're getting the insurance policy from your program, you're going to have to wait for the university or whoever you're going to be studying with in Spain to send you an acceptance letter. The next few things on the list are much simpler than everything else that came before. The next things, the rest of the stuff that's on the list is pretty much about identification. You're going to need to bring also your passport and an ID card that proves that you live within the jurisdiction of the consulate. As far as the ID goes, it could be your state driver's license, a state ID, a voter registration form that proves that your address is in the jurisdiction of the consulate. And also, if you have one, you could use your university ID card. For example, I'm a resident in Los Angeles County, that's where my home address is, but I go to school in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if I did want to go to the San Francisco consulate, I could take my university ID that proves that I attend a university that is within the consulate's jurisdiction. Another thing I haven't mentioned yet, but everything that's on this checklist, you're going to want to bring with you to your interview at least 2 to 3 copies. You're going to have a copy to give to the person that's interviewing you and a copy to keep for yourself. I say 2 to 3 copies because, yeah, if you're like me and you're also very forgetful, it's nice to have another backup copy so you're not worried about losing things, especially if it's something like your insurance policy or your acceptance letter that could have come from Spain. And that does also go for your ID card and your passport. So you're going to need to bring a copy of your whatever ID or whatever you're going to have to prove that you do live within the consulate's jurisdiction, and also a photocopy of your passport. And it's going to be the page that has your lovely face on it, the cover page, whatever you call it. And it has, like, you know, the picture of the bald eagle and the American flag waving in the background. Yeah, so you're going to want to make a copy of that page along with your state ID or your ID card. Then you're going to have pictures of yourself. So I would say, well, what I did was I went to Costco and I paid like $5 for 3 or 4 2x2 photos that I later used on the visa application. So that's the next thing. You're going to need to go online and print a copy of the visa application, or well, 2 or 3 copies of the visa application. And you need to fill it out in all capital letters. Every section has to be done in capital letters. And then at the top right corner of the visa application form, there's going to be a little box for you to put a picture of yourself. Next, you're going to want to work on getting proof of sufficient funds. Now, there is a specific number that they deem as a sufficient funds, but I don't know what it is right now. So double check on your consulate website. But as far as proving that you have these sufficient funds, you can use your last 3 bank statements, whatever financial aid or grant, scholarship, loan, things like that, any kind of documentation that proves that you're going to receive that money while you're in Spain. Or if you are going to have your parents claim financial responsibility for you while you're going to be in Spain, you can use their last 3 bank statements along with a notarized letter that does prove that they're going to claim financial responsibility for you while you're studying in Spain. The next 2 things that I have here didn't apply to me, so I'm going to put the information out there. But yeah, they didn't apply to me, so I'm not too sure about how you go about getting the documentation that you might need. And that is going to be your non-US citizen alien registration or your long stay visa. Just like everything else, 2 to 3 copies to present to your 2 to 3 copies to present to your interviewer. Yeah, so I'm sure you know more about getting those documents than I do. The next is going to be for people that are under 18. You're going to need a notarized letter from your parents that gives you permission to go to Spain. So pretty much a permission slip. Once you have all of that stuff done and together, you're going to need to buy a self-addressed prepaid envelope. And that's just so that the consulate can send you your passport back once they include the visa in it. Yeah, I don't think the consulate cares. I don't think they're picky like the people over at the Apostille place. I think you can use either a FedEx or USPS envelope. I used a USPS envelope and I got my visa right on time. So the last thing that you're going to need, the last document on the checklist, is going to be a disclaimer, and it has to be duly signed. It should be on the consulate website. It should be easy to find. Print it, sign it, date it, and then you're good. As far as processing time goes for getting your visa back to you after you've done your interview, it really does vary. Like for me, it took about a week and a half, maybe even less, but a little over a week to get my visa back. And I had my appointment in July. Yeah, like mid to late July. And it didn't take that long at all for me to get my visa back. I had heard other people say that it took them like 2 weeks to get their visa back, and other people say 3, and some people say even up to a month and a half. But yeah, it really just depends on how busy the consulate is. But I wouldn't worry about getting your visa back too much, because once you have your interview and everything together and you've shown that you have a legitimate reason to go to Spain and you're not trying to like do anything illegal over there, they'll get everything back to you because they do want you to go just as bad as you want to go, and the people in your program want you to go. Spain also wants you to go. They want you to have that experience there, and also they want you to go there and spend your money. So yeah, Spain really does want you to go. Pues nada, that's todo, that's everything. So hopefully this will help you guys organize your schedule and feel a little bit more confident about getting your student visa. If you guys have any other questions about the student visa process or about how you can study and travel in Spain, go ahead and leave those in the comment section, and I promise I'll get back to you ASAPtually. Also, I'm going to leave the link to my blog in the description. You guys have no idea how many times I had to re-record this because I said that part wrong. But yeah, if you're interested, I'm going to leave the link to my blog about Spanish contemporary culture. Definitely check that out. Also, if you're more so interested in my personal experiences and what it's going to be like for me living in Spain, I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos to this channel, so definitely stick around and subscribe. Anyway, that's it, guys. Good luck on your visa. Good luck in your interview. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video in Spain. I'll talk to you guys later, and good luck.